Australians find themselves in the debt spiral each year. Today we'll be talking to Tenancy WA and CCLS WA about the free legal services they offer to the WA community.
So we're a community legal centre, which is a not-for-profit organisation that gives out free legal advice, and we specialise in the areas of consumer credit law, banking and finance, and consumer law. So that applies to goods or services that are purchased. In addition to our advice work, we also do community legal education. So that means we go out and we do talks to high schools and community groups. To get our telephone advice, there isn't a strict criteria at all. So anyone in WA or with a dispute that's connected to WA can call us up for advice. We don't means test to give out the telephone advice. So really it's more of a first in, best dressed case. In terms of our case file work, though, we do have targets with that, and we're not allowed to, well, not allowed isn't the right word, but really there are targets that say that we can't have more than a certain percentage of our case file work for clients that aren't financially disadvantaged, for example, which is fine. Like we'll never go over that target because it is really the most financial disadvantaged people that do generally come to us with help for help, and who do have the more complex matters and who do need the assistance from us. So we do have various priority groups that we do look at opening case files for. So one of those is financially disadvantaged. The other one is cold clients, so that's culturally and linguistically diverse. Younger people and also older people, and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders. So we've got our telephone advice line, so that number is 92217066, and then we also have a website. So if people aren't comfortable calling us up for advice, or if they simply can't get through to us, which can happen because we cannot meet the demand for everyone, they can find out information from our website. So that's www.cclswa.org.au.
What community legal education is basically making law accessible to the people, not just the lawyers that know it. We provide advice through our advice line. We have people on the phone that can give you specialised legal advice on an issue that tenants are having. We provide representation in court in some cases where it's needed. And we also have the community legal education aspect, so we develop fact sheets on our website. As well as that, we teach tenant advocates, but we also do some reform as well. So we speak to tenants all day, every day, and we are well aware of the common issues that they have. So we lobby government, we make submissions to change law and policy, so that the whole system is fairer.
What are the most common sort of tenancy issues people seek advice for?
The big three would be breaking lease, which is when you sign a lease agreement for a fixed amount of time, but for some reason you need to terminate that early, you need to finish up that early. And there's all kinds of legal, well, not all kinds, there are some legal issues when you're breaking a lease. So we give advice on that. Also bond, so sometimes when you start a tenancy, the landlord will request a significant set of money, and that money has to be returned to you at the end of the tenancy minus particular items that they can charge to the bond. But again, there's laws and regulations that dictate that, and a lot of people don't know what they are. So we provide advice on when and how you should get your bond back. The third one would be maintenance and repairs. So again, there's a lot of myths around who's responsible for what. Should the landlord fix it? Should the tenant fix it? Who pays for it? So in that scenario, we provide advice to tenants on those issues. And again, the fact sheets have all that information as well. But those are the most common tenancy issues.
How is what you do important to the WA community?
Not a lot of people know tenancy law A, exists, or B, what it is. And that's something that I feel passionate about, because if you're entering into a rental agreement, then tenancy law applies to you. So you should at least know it. And then more, in terms of resolving issues or knowing when, something doesn't sound right, it doesn't sound like this is fair or just, that's a really good opportunity to have a look at the law and see if we can advise you or if you can advocate for yourself, which is what we're passionate about, empowering members of the community to know their rights and enforce their renters' rights.
How can they reach out to you and your team?
They can call our advice line. We've also just opened a booking service. So if, because our lines are pretty packed all day, sometimes it's hard for people to get through. That's frustrating. So the online booking system allows people to go to the website, book an appointment online, and then they can receive a call at that time from one of our advocates or lawyers.
Thank you so much for joining us today and chatting to us about the great work you do for the WA community. I'm Gabrielle Clark, reporting for Undercurrents.